Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf, and today we're going to be talking to Debbie out of Stewart, and she's one of our master practitioners, and she's actually hosting, she's hosting the Whole Life Health Coach Certified, and that's a 9-day course, and right after that is the Wolf Non-Surgical Course Certified, and that's a 12-day course, and then the 3-day masterclass for women called the Pelvic Restoration Course. But today we're going to be talking about something, and we're going to be celebrating what is not just man's best friend, but woman's best friend. And I'm just going to let Debbie open it up, and we're going to hear about the story of Emmett. You know, I'm going to tell you something right now. Isn't it kind of funny? You know why we fall in love with dogs and our pets so much is because they are unconditional love. And if you can't learn unconditional love from your pets, then I'd say that we're in big trouble. And what is it that I always say? That if you could practice unconditional love for yourself, you would give it to others. And whoa, what a beautiful place this would be. Debbie?
Yes. So just to let everyone know, Emmett did leave this earth. He has passed on. And I may get a little teary-eyed because talking about it, yeah. Oof. It's been a wonderful journey. I mean, I am so grateful. And he will be missed, but we always know that they're right there with us. You know, they just never leave us, and they stay with us. So no matter what, he is right here with me, and I know that. And yeah, so we can start with, where do you want to start? You know, how do you want to start this?
Well, I just would like to start it that, you know, when somebody tells you that it's time and there's a due date on a relative or a dear friend like your pets, that's not true. And that you and Emmett came together to decide when the due date was going to be, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't want to disillusion anyone, but understand something. Nobody out there in the world has the right to tell you. And you know what? When whether it's a veterinarian, whether it's a medical doctor, and they say, listen, a dog, a person at this age, in this condition, will only last for this long. It's not true. It is true to them for what they've learned. But when you learn that it's all about the spirit, it's all about energy. You have to understand that both of these two things I've talked about, okay, whether it be most of the veterinarians out there, and God love them, most of the medical doctors out there, they're chemical practitioners, and we are energy practitioners. And understand, when you understand energy and you know how to feed the spirit, yeah, it may be not for a long time longer, but it was a while, wasn't it? And guess what? And because you knew that it was coming, it kind of heightened the relationship, made the relationship deeper. And I think, and please don't get me wrong, people, and I'm not making this up, but I think Emmett knew it and Debbie knew it, and they were coming closer to understand that they were eventually going to go their ways.
Yes. So, you know, originally his problems even began back, I would say in November of 22. And then in January of 23 was when he had he lost all the hair. You know, that was like the first signs that we saw of the major block on his spine.
Can we go back a little further and just explain that, you know, when Emmett came to you, he was how old?
He was almost 7 years old. He was my dad's dog. And he was morbidly obese. He was normally,
he was fed off a kibble, which
yes.
Kibble is like eating crackers, potato chips, and Oreos. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so when I got him, he was 17 pounds. He would normally weigh about 11 pounds. So I then had, exercised him, and he was about 7.
My apologies, but people will be wondering, what kind of dog was he?
He was Maltese. So he was a little white Maltese that weighed 10 to 11 pounds. And when we got him 17 pounds, we brought his weight down. He was about 7 years old at that time. And then even then I wasn't 100% on feeding him the proper food myself. So I was still in the learning phase back then, because I was back in 2015. So he got better food, and he was, regulated to maintain, a healthy weight. But he was not on the raw food yet, in the beginning. He was on human food, but he wasn't on the raw food like he was toward the end here. He lived a great life. He was just the happiest dog, the sweetest dog. Everybody loved him. He loved everybody. And he was just, I never thought I would have a little dog. I've always been, a big dog person, always had a bigger dog. And that little boy just took my heart and everything. It was just amazing. He was meant to be with me, and I was meant to be with him. So yeah, it's tears, because the gratefulness that I had that he was in my life, and what he taught me just in the last couple of years, and what you've taught me. And gosh, it's just so, it's amazing. And what I have learned, and what he was able to teach the world, because he was part of this journey. And there have been so many people that I have talked to that have changed their life with their pets because of him. Yeah. He just was, I remember you doing the first non-surgical treatment on him, and what a trooper. And he just knew that he needed it. He just knew that his body wanted it. He just craved it. It was an amazing thing to see an animal that is so instinctual. They're just pure. They just go on pure instinct. And when you were working on him, just the results that we got, and that started the journey then. At the point last June, when he did get diagnosed with the masses on the adrenals, then we took it into a different, different level of raising him up with, just more nutraceuticals and boosting up his immune system. So, yeah.
So when he was diagnosed, and I know the veterinarian wants the best, doesn't want your dog to suffer, he did suggest that you should have put him down back then, right?
Right. It was either surgery or put him down. And I was never going to do surgery on a dog that was 14 and a half years old and put an animal that old through something like that. At that point, that was in June of 23. So that was when he was 14 and a half. And so I brought him home, and you and me, designed the plan. We used the Cellsonic, we used critical mushrooms, we did coffee enemas. He was on the Son formula, amino acids. Boy, he was on everything. Detox tea, he was on Black Gold, he was on Black Diamond, and he did very, very well for a while until, about a month, maybe a month to 2 months ago. He lived really good during this time. He was walking. He was, people that could watch on Telegram, on your channels on Telegram, we would upload pictures of him doing his walk. He would make me run sometimes during this period of time that he really started thriving afterward. And then,
see what love can do. Look what love can do. And, I want to give love all the credit, and only a small bit of credit to the nutraceuticals. But we know the nutraceuticals woke him up and said, hey, you're not leaving. And then the bond became closer between you and him, and that sealed the deal.
Right. And he just, I just meet people that, they just say, well, I couldn't do that to my dog. I couldn't do a coffee in my dog. He was so receptive, and he trusted me so much that he was like, whatever you say, Mom, whatever, I trust you. And that's how it was. He just, I get the stuff ready and we walk outside, and he knew he was going to have a coffee enema, and he was fine. It's amazing when you connect like that they know that this is what they actually need. And so our relationship was just amazing. He lived, about 10 and a half months longer than what the vet said. And it was not, I mean, it was good times. It wasn't, just dragging him around. He was, he was thriving. He was doing well. So it was wonderful 10 and a half months. And, when people think about it, 1 year is in human life is about 7 years in a dog's life. So with him being almost a year older, you got to figure that he probably lived a good 5 to 6 more years if we calculate it. And so that was amazing too, that he lived as long as he did and for as healthy as he did. And we never went back to the vet until the very end. He did have a little bit of an infection in his nose. And I knew, like you said, this was life-saving antibiotics, because at that point, I knew it was getting bad. He had developed a cough. And then I did put him on antibiotics at the end, and he did improve for a couple of days. But whatever was going on in his throat, in his airway, he was having, some issues with the coughing. And it started to be that he was suffering. So I was not going to have, an animal suffer. And he let me know. He let me know. So, yeah. And it's, I get choked up still. It hasn't been not even a week, but my heart is so grateful for him being in my life and the things that he taught me and the things that we went through together. And, it taught me things with my other dog, with Taz, just learning how to do things. Already he had two issues that, I haven't had to go to the vet. I mean, if I would have went to the vet, they would have treated him for something completely different, because I know what is going on. And so now Taz has gotten coffee enemas, and Taz has gotten non-surgical on his tail because they cut his tail. And that scar tissue just bound up so tight on that little tail. And,
that could cause constipation by cutting the tail, because
Yes.
the actual roots that come off the cut can actually be 1 to 2 inches long. It can choke off his rectum.
Yeah. And so we've been working with him now. And of course, and my main concern was Emmett lately, because of the fact that, we had more to do with Emmett. So now we work with Taz. And so it's just been amazing, the stuff that I've learned with doing the whole life coach and the WOOF non-surgical, to where I can be that person to treat my dog, that I have the knowledge for this. And if I don't know everything, I call you, or I call another practitioner, or I call Dr. Sage, just to help. And we have that ability to be together with our tribe and really, really, thrive and just be able to take care of each other without putting the animal or the person on a pharmaceutical type drug that's actually going to harm them, So that's what this is all about, is actually thriving and having the best knowledge to know what you should be eating, drinking, thinking, and also having, the knowledge to heal yourself if something does go wrong. So.
And you know what, everyone, because of the situation with Emmett, I mean, Debbie, you've gotten calls from people who own pets all over the place that, you're coaching them now how
Right.
to actually give their pets the life they deserve and not the drugs they don't, right? And whether you're talking about humans or you're talking about pets, do you want to go to a chemical practitioner or do you want to go to an energy practitioner? And it really is about the energy, whether we're talking about Cellsonic or we're talking about nutraceuticals or whether we're talking about the right food. Remember something, everything leaves the body except the vibration, and it's the vibration that creates the alignment. And if you're taking something in, okay, to shut your symptoms down, that's not called alignment. Okay, the inflammation is still going to rage. The infection is still going to create the inflammation. The inflammation is going to cause the scar tissue, cause the displaced calcium. And every one of these problems are a scar tissue calcification situation with a low pH and acidic pH that leads to every autoimmune disease all the way to what they call cancer and we call stage 4 inflammation. And are you still okay if people want to call you about their pets and if they want to take their pets' health into their hands? Are you still okay with that, Debbie?
Oh yeah, sure, for sure. This all happened on Wednesday. I had appointments on Thursday. I kept my appointments. I like to stay busy. It doesn't mean I don't think about him. There are times that I do go off and, have a little cry. And when I do talk about him, I still get teary eyed, as you see. But I get up every day and I'm grateful for everything that I have, everything that I know. We get up. I have Taz who depends on me to still take care of him. It's just, life goes on. And I hear people, they say all the time, well, I don't know if I could get another one because the pain was too much. And I just am like, well, I will always have another one because the love is so great. And you got to just have that love and know that, we do. And, there's no guarantee for anybody or anything on this earth, just because you think you're going to live to be 80, someone may die when they're 14, when they're 20, when they're 100, you don't know. So you have to be grateful for the time that you have with that person or the animal or anything else that comes into your life, and know that it was meant to be there for that time, and the universe will only give and take what it wants, and it's there for you at that time. Emmett was ready to go. It was his time to go, and we will miss him greatly, but he was put on this earth to teach many people through you, to show how to do the non-surgical on a dog, to show that you can treat this animal. He influenced so many people with animals. There was one lady that I worked with where her dog was constipated. He's 15. And I spoke to her too, to let her know that Emmett passed, because we worked on her dog, and her dog is at the same age, and just doing wonderful. I mean, he's just, having the best time. She has him on the right food. She's giving him the detox tea, the black gold. She's doing everything. And the dog is just beautiful right now at 15 years old. And we just have to be blessed with the time that we have with whoever it is or whatever it is that we have come into our lives. So, you can't just, lay down and just say, oh, my whole life is falling apart because of this. Gratefulness, and everything should be grateful. And for everything, I'm so blessed with everything, with you, with the dogs, with Dina, with everything in my life. And when you practice that, that's what you get. You get it all back to you. And as soon as you do that, you live such a beautiful life. And that's what it's all about, coming here on this fun-filled, life-threatening adventure that we're having, because you make it to what what you want it to be. And so I choose to be happy every day. And it doesn't mean that I can't have tears. It just means that I have to keep going, and I have to feel to heal, because if I don't have these tears and I just block it out, then I'm not feeling it. But I can let it out, and I can let people see that, he's gone, but I'm okay with that. And I will miss him, but I know he's always here. So that's the part that people have to understand. And I think I learned a lot of that being in your whole life coach, class, and how, you explain the spirit beings and how we exist. And I heard a lot of people in the class also talk about that, like the death of their parents. They had a better understanding of how to deal with things like that. There's some people that don't know how to deal with the grief. And so it's part of the learning and understanding. And if you go into one of, the whole life coach classes, it does give you that understanding. So, we are so grateful that we've been in your classes, and that, we continue to learn from you and stuff like that. And I have been so grateful to be able to learn how to, to change and heal yourself, or heal someone, heal the animal, without doing it through, techniques that are going to harm you and cause more, more pain or more discomfort in the long run. So, it's a wonderful thing, Doc, and I appreciate you very much.
You know, I have to tell you, Debbie, that you give more than you ever take, and you have done you've done more for Braveheart Nation than you think, and I really love you and respect you. You know, and and Emmett actually taught me a lot and really brought me and you together. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm going to do this on live. I want to apologize for a time that I was overreactive with you, and you know when that was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay. I
love
got you.
I love you.
I know. I know you
I know,
do.
but I want yeah. I'd rather do it now and do it online, because when you do it out loud and you do it proud, it means something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And we all go through things, and we all teach each other things. And that was part of a lesson. And whether it be a lesson with Emmett, he taught me so many things. He taught you so many things. He was put in our lives to teach us these things. And that's what he was here for.
Mm-hmm.
He was here for all that. So, yeah, it's wonderful.
God, it's really funny how, you get this wise old spirit that's that small and it's got 4 legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been, it's just a love that you can't even imagine. And like you say, it's just the unconditional love. And I got to tell a joke while we're sitting here so everybody can laugh. They always say, and I don't remember exactly how it goes, but basically, when you lock your wife in the trunk of a car, she comes out wanting to kick your butt and stuff. But when you lock your animal in the trunk of the car, when you open up the trunk, the animal comes out and gives you kisses and licks you all over. It's so happy to see you. And it's so true. Animals are just so wonderful unconditionally. And, when you treat them with the love and respect, they just give so much. And, I have my other one, Taz, and, he's just such a joy too. So it's like I said, life is what you make it. And I just want to make it all that I can, and for everybody, because I do give, but I also hold the line. And but I do like to help people, and I want them to heal themselves, and I want to give them my knowledge, but I make sure that they understand that they have to be the ones to take this personal action, and not Dr. Wolf, not Debbie. We're not going to save you. You got to just take this information and apply it to yourself, because nobody can change you but you. And if you don't wake up grateful and you wake up unhappy and you want to cry about everything and moan and groan about everything, that's going to be your life. So you decide how you want to live your life. So
isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm heading your way tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
So, yeah, tomorrow. But I'm going up to see Jim Gale for a couple of days. I've got some meetings, and also Jim's going to build a food forest abundance on my property in Ixtapa, Zihuatanego. So we're going to be talking about the design of it, and then also about getting a couple beehives there and doing a few other things on the property. And then I'll be heading back down. Okay. But everybody, just so you know, you're the hostess with the mostest. Do you want to tell them what we're doing?
Yes. So coming up real short, we still have a few spots available, guys. So you too can come learn how to be your best you, because that's what this is all about. And we want everybody to learn how to become happy, how to utilize, how to treat yourself, how to heal yourself, and taking the whole life coach and the Wolf non-surgical and the pelvic for the ladies. Wow, it's all incredible. And I still am amazed every day of, the people that I treat. Today, I had a lady who came in, which she was here a year ago. She lives out of town and she was back down. So she called to come see me again. And I worked on her TMJ, which is around her ear and her mouth. And she said that she went home and she was just like, just so relieved after just one treatment. And so we did some other work today and she just walked out happy. And I said, now quit waiting a year to get another treatment. I said, you know, there's got to be some practitioner that's close. And so I gave her, she wasn't real familiar with you, or, you know, she doesn't go on Facebook and stuff, but I gave her your Pdgfree.com so she could learn about health. And so she's going to download it and start reading the Perfect Day Guide. And it's going to be, she'll do it. She'll start doing it. And, you know, she'll be down here more often and we'll give her more treatments. But she was just, there's really nobody that I've had that has said, oh, that was horrible, I can't stand this. You know, I mean, everybody walks out going like, wow, what a difference. You know, how can I feel so good after a treatment? And really the Wolf non-surgical, you know, I have searched all my life. Like I said, I used to go to a chiropractor like every 2 weeks to go be adjusted because my neck, you know, I had an injury as a child and the scar tissue went down. Well, I didn't know what all that was. And I've been in the medical field for 30 years. Till the first week of your class, Doc, when I went, oh my gosh, you know, this is it. This is, I mean, when you said think logically, and then you described that this is because of that, that is because of this, you know, it just makes so much sense. And like I said, in the first 9 days, I learned more than in 30 years of being in the medical field, where now I know what causes these issues that we have. And now we know what to do to heal the body and get rid of them. And after my first non-surgical treatment on my neck, I've never been back to a chiropractor. I've never had to go back to one because we got rid of the issues. And after 3 treatments of the neck, you know, and I still do an occasional just to, you know, keep it there, but it's not like it's necessary. I was constantly like this, always stretching, always everything. And I haven't done that in like, I don't know, 2 to 3 years, you know, haven't had to do any of that stuff. So everybody, the Whole Life Coach is going to be here in Stuart, Florida, here on the Treasure Coast. It's going to be on June 5th through the 13th. And then we're going to do the Wolf Non-Surgical from the 15th through the 26th. And that's with Dr. Sage Wolf. And then the pelvic restoration will be June 28th through the 30th with Lorraine. So that's going to be exciting for the ladies. And of course, for everybody, there's going to be lectures, and they're going to be on May 29th with, that's going to be, I think it's the Heal Yourself and Your Family. And then there's a day with the doc on June 2nd. That's all day. And you can look up these lectures on bhnuniversity.com for the information and the times. And then Dr. Sage Wolf will be June 12th. He'll be talking with no canes, no surgeries, no medications. And then Lorraine will be doing the pelvic restoration.
If I could say something on both of those times, the Whole Life Health Coach, the Heal Yourself, Heal Your Family, the day with the doc, and with Sage's Reverse the Irreversible, No More Canes, Walkers, or Drugs. And then with also Lorraine's pelvic lecture. These are all free. And guess what? Debbie's going to have her Celsonic there, and we're going to show you something. Especially in my 2 lectures, we'll get somebody from the audience that had a problem for maybe 10, maybe 15 years, won't we? And then we will actually do some Celsonic, some non-surgical, and we'll show you that we actually can do what we do and we say what we say, and why we give a money-back guarantee on the first treatment, and why we also guarantee that people will not go to surgery. If you can create a problem, you can reverse it. Whether you're talking about, I've got no cartilage left, I'm bone on bone. No, I'm telling you right now, 95% of all surgery can be prevented. You don't have to believe me, but download my book, Pdgfree.com, or go to my library and watch Reverse the Irreversible. Okay? It's a masterclass, and you're going to find out that I'm exactly right, that 1 and 1 are 2, not 11, Debbie. What do you think?
I think you're totally right. And I have been through, this will be my 6th class. And I have seen for myself, you're in a class, you're there to learn, and people all come in with all different kinds of issues and, just different things that have happened in their lives. And so when you actually see what people have gone through, and then you see how their lives changed just in the 9 days that they're with you, or in the 12 days that they're with Dr. Sage, being able to do stuff that they couldn't do before. I have witnessed it over and over and over again with just people in the class. And that's the amazing part, because so many people, they just don't believe it. But when you go in and you see it, and it's one thing watching, a video on Facebook or Instagram, but there's nothing like being in a class, really getting into those deep things and being with your tribe. And it's just such a wonderful thing. When people leave the class after the whole life and they got to go back to the real world, they're like, well, what am I going to do? I said, well, now's the time that you have to apply what you've learned and, be that leader. Like Dr. Wolf says, he says, I don't want you following me. I want you to teach me. I want you to learn more than me. That's where you got to start taking that massive personal action. And once you do that, that's when your life changes. And we, the classes and everything give you the tools to do this stuff. And that's the beauty of it. But people, like I said, I've seen so many people come in and just the changes that they've made. And it's just wonderful, the tools that are there. And people, you just have to remain open-minded and, just be willing to give it a shot. And if people are just like right over that, oh, I don't know, I can't do it, just do it, just get over it, make that jump, make that little bit of fear. Well, I can't afford it. Well, just do something to be able to afford it. Just do something to change your life at this point, because we become stagnant and you're living this unhappy life, and then you're just miserable. The minute that you stay in the unhappiness, that's what you're going to be. If you change around to where you really learn and can really get up every day and be grateful for what you have and what's around you and live your best life, that's when you're going to flourish and things are going to change. So, I say everybody take that step, make that move. And, there's still a few spots left in the course. And we want to just give everybody the opportunity to get in here and make these changes in their lives. And it is amazing. I've been in the medical field for so long, and I have never known more than in the last couple of years of being a part of the Braveheart Nation. So, that's basically all I have to say right there.
Okay, and listen, everyone, if you've got a dog that's suffering, you could come to me, but I'd rather you go to Debbie because she's a natural. And she doesn't know it, but I'm going to ask her if she wants to maybe even do a little show once a week and invite somebody on with a dog that has a problem. And we can maybe start doing something like that, because you know what? We're not telling you to give up your vet. We're telling you to who's with your dog the most. Okay, who does your dog rely on the most? Okay, why can't you become the practitioner, the healer for your dog? And understand something. What you do for yourself, you should do for your dog. Why don't you both get healthy? Because remember something, when you get sick, your dog's going to get sick, because that's how loyal your dog is. What do you think, Debbie?
I think that's great. And I'm here in Stuart, Florida, and my clinic is Stuart Health and Healing. And our website is stuarthealthandhealing.com. And anybody that has any questions about treatments or the training or anything at all, just to whatever you need, my phone number is 305-342-9559. And, I'll be happy to answer any questions. And if I don't have the answer, I'll find it out for you.
Everybody, I'm just going to say this, and it's the God's truth. You're so lucky to have a therapist like Debbie. If you live in her area, or even if you're even a few hours away, you're going to go want to see it one time, feel it, to believe it, and you're going to know it. And you can have all the doubts you want in the world, because you know what? I get it. I get it. Did you ever notice something? Everybody will keep on doing the same thing that doesn't work, and then we'll tell you something that does, but because nobody else is doing it, it's hard for you to believe it, and we're with you. We get it. We get it. It's got to be proven. And that's why, please don't take this. This is not some kind of a sales pitch. That's why we give you a money back guarantee that we're going to bring the thunder down and show you that, guess what? There's nothing wrong with you. Okay. Anything that's wrong with you, you can reverse it. You can reverse it. I'm telling you that you can. We've seen it, you know. I wouldn't say it so loud and so proud if I didn't see it. Debbie, how would you like to end it?
Well, I am grateful that I had Emmett in my life and that he taught me all the things that he taught me. And I'll miss him. I will miss him because he was so beautiful. But look who's coming up. And look who's here.
He
and
knew
he
when.
knows.
He knew when.
He knows. This is
Yeah, he
Taz.
knows.
And he knows we're talking about him. And he's just a wonderful dog too. And so for all of everybody, you know, just get out there and just learn all that you can. Keep learning how to be your healthy person and keep your family and your pets healthy too. And that is what it's all about. You know, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, what good is that money going to do you? You know, what good is anything going to do you if you are not healthy? And so first and foremost, you know, you need to love yourself and take care of you, because if you don't have anything. So
Very good.
Yeah.
So here we go, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Doggone it. We love you. Never give up. Thank you, Debbie.
My brave hearts. Thank you. Bye.